after he said it, he'd laugh like anything, and he'd turn around and he'd run back in again. And then they'd call him out again and ask him to say another nursery rhyme, and that's how it used to go. And just so funny.
Mm-hmm. Don't know, when did me and Mark actually get on? He'd gone to Cockfosters. I didn't even know he'd gone, I don't think. Just one of those things, isn't it?
Can you remember when you cut your cardi up here? Do you know, Garen, he'd always got to do everything right. Everything right. He'd always give in to Carl if Carl wanted. If he'd got a car, Carl took it off him. He'd let him have it. He wouldn't take it back. He'd always got to do things right, really. Anyway, my mum had made these cardigans because they were easier to get off, you know, at school for PE and all that sort of thing. And that was a brown, sort of flecky one. And he come home and he say, look, Mum, he say, that naughty boy, what was his name now? Farah. Was it Roger?
Carl, wasn't it?
Carl Farah.
He wasn't even in my year, was he?
It's my year.
In your year.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I thought it was him anyway. It was a naughty boy, and I knew that this boy was a naughty boy. He said we had scissors on the table and he cut it. Well, anyway, I said, all right. Anyway, before he went to bed, he come up to me and say, Mum, it was me that cut it, really. And I remember my mum, that was new on, and she took it to bits and then she knitted it downwards, because you knit them upwards, yes. But she knitted it on, knitted it downwards again. But at the same time, I remember him really, I don't know, when another time you told me a Porky, I think that was the only other time I remember.
Porky boy.
Is when you come off your, oh no, you said you come off your bike, didn't you? Yeah, they've been throwing stones at an old television, hadn't you, screen. Yeah. And instead of it impact and that come out, and split his head at the back here. It opened, didn't it? And he said he'd fell off in the stones at the cemetery off his bike. So we had to, old boy had come to the door, didn't he? And I said, you couldn't possibly take us to the doctors because my son had split his head open. He said, well, yeah, I'll take you there, but I can't bring you back. He said, because I've got pleurisy. I've just been there myself and I've been sent home to bed. That's a man I used to do the Liberal tote for. And my mum used to do it and then I took over. Anyway, we took him to the doctors and he never cried, nothing, did he? And yeah, we sat there ages and I can remember holding it like that in the blood too. Anyway, we got in there and they put stitches in his head. Never cried a tear, never made a fuss, nothing. Just sat there and let him do it. And who was that? What's his name? Basil, his name was. What, he come from Northumberland, and his wife, they brought us home, didn't they? Brought us home, didn't they? What's her name? Newton, yeah. Brought us home. But he did tell me after, he said, I didn't fall off my bike. I was throwing stones at a television up the, somebody throwing TV out, you see, up the cemetery.
One of the other lads had come across and split his trainer.
Who?
I don't know if that's Glenn or Stevens.
Yeah.
Come through the glass, had cut right across his trainer and split it open.
Right. Good Lord. I'll tell you what I got in my toe yesterday. That come right through my Crocs, what I've got on. Piece of holly got in my toe. And that went in because that still felt as though that was there. But then I found a piece this morning actually. Lovely.